What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. We're Durbin's Garage. Behind the camera is Daryl, my dad. I'm Hunter.
Hello,
Our
folks.
father and son car rest. We restore cars on the side. So we're just going to give you a little tour of what we got going on in the shop coming up here in the next few videos. So make sure you subscribe, hit the post notification bell so you get notifications, and make sure to follow us on Instagram so you get sneak peeks and whatnot before YouTube. So follow me around here and see what we got going on. This is a 65 Ford Fairlane. Got a 302 automatic in it. It's a pretty solid car. The only rusty parts on it is basically a couple spots in the floor. It's had some prior work done to the quarters, but we're going to redo it a little bit because it wasn't done right, but it's not rusty at all there on the quarters. It's a good 20-footer going on the road. Fun car. It's got a really healthy 302 in it. May not look like it, but underneath the valve covers are some nice parts. Over there we got a 90 GT. That was my high school car. Got a 351. You're sitting on the stand that came out of it. Want to put some heads, good cam, nice intake. I like to have like a 400 horsepower motor back in this thing. I want to get it painted this winter. The reason why I got to paint it is because I was coming out of the paint room there with some primer. We used PPS system. I didn't have the ring on the cup. I started just shaking it around and it fell off and splattered over the car. So I got to repaint the car, which is all right anyways. Car needs restored, but it's solid. There's no rust on this thing. Over here is a good family friend of ours. This is his '73 Charger. This was his high school car. Dad's got a lot of memories.
Oh,
of this
yeah.
thing. It may look pretty bad on the video, but it's actually really solid. The car's really solid. I'm probably going to have to make a roof skin because they don't sell them. So anybody out there needing to know how to make a, hey, there's my Allen wrenches. But everyone needing to know how to make a roof skin, we're going to learn together. But as far as the quarters go, 71, 72 Chargers, they sell the full quarters for these. So then, you only got to weld this much. Well, 73, 74s, they always sell the skins. So I'm going to have to weld this entire body line. So that's going to be a learning curve there too. But it's going back to original. It's going to be gold. It did have a white vinyl top. I don't think we're putting a white vinyl top back on it. It is a factory sunroof car, but the sunroof track and everything is so far gone, I don't know if we could save it. I would like to keep it a sunroof car, but the owner, he said just make it a hard top. So we'll probably just make it a hard top. I'll have to make some cross members and do a little bit of fab work, or find a parts car to cut the roof off it. But that'll be a fun project. This one's my favorite project. Hoping to get all the metal work done on this. This is a 69 Dodge Superbee. We have 95% of the metal work on this car. This is how we bought it. We put it in here and we haven't even touched it. We did a little bit of grinding here and there and we said, enough, we're just going to blast it. So once we get this car blasted here within a month or so, we're really going to start rinsing on this. This will be a video series. Make sure you stay tuned for this. This will be a fun one. But the only panel that's left on this car is the roof and this. It came with half quarters. The other half is cut off. The previous owner cut it off. And you can see where he was going to cut this one off. And the half quarter when it came up to about here. And you can see how hard of a weld that would have been. So the 4 quarters we bought, they come up to about here. So that replaces this entire panel. This pitch will hold all the way down, all the way along here. We bought all new full quarters. We got floor pans, trunk extensions, wheel tubs,
Tail panel.
aprons, tail panel. We got everything. These are all the parts that came off of it. Doors are solid. We got 2 sets of tail panels that came with it, but they're pretty rough. We bought new ones. Bumpers are pretty rough. We're gonna have to get new bumpers, I think. This rear panel, this goes up here. It's gonna be. This will be a fun one. It's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to try to get it off the rotisserie first, keep it straight. But the new panels we bought, this is one of the inner aprons. It's pretty subpar. And we bought all our stuff from AMD. This is the tail panel.
Beautiful piece. Beautiful piece.
Beautiful pieces. AMD does awesome work. If you're restoring a car, if you have a car like this, doing anything with a classic car, check AMD first. It's better than OEM. It's nice, thin material. It fits perfect and it looks nice. They do a real good job. So if you're restoring an old car, go to AMD. But this thing, this will be a fun one. It's R4 red, it's the original 383 4-speed car, black tier console. It's a 69 Superbee, so it's. I can't wait to see this one back on its chassis.
Got the N96 hood.
Yeah, the N96. Unfortunately, it's missing the bottom piece, so we'll have to
We gotta find the
either search
grabber.
for one or find. We got a deck lid coming here soon. The 2 deck lids that came with it are pretty rusty. They're pretty far gone, unfortunately. We got 2 sets of fenders. The previous owner bought a 69 Coronet and parted it out and took whatever parts they could salvage off of it. So we got 2 sets of doors. We got fenders. I think we got actually 1 door off that Coronet. But the doors off this one are pretty good. They're dented up, but dents are easy. Rust isn't. So fix dents.
Yeah, they're amazingly rust free.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Considering
the door, considering what the rockers look like. The fenders, I think we should blast both sets of fenders and maybe tie one to that. Because like this Charger here, the fenders are pretty shot. I can buy the bottom piece. I can buy the bottom pieces for these fenders. 71 to 74 Chargers, the fenders I think are pretty much the same. The only thing that's different is the headlight buckets, I think, sit in a little bit more on 71, 72 because of the 73, 74s, they extend out because of the 5-mile-an-hour bumper laws or whatever they have them. I think the fenders are pretty much the same. So I could buy this bottom piece. They don't sell these whole fenders, these old B-body Mopars. The fenders are a real big part of the car. All this, I mean, this is some thick stuff. All this is part of the fender. This is all the fender. So you can see how that's going to be a real hard piece to make aftermarket. They sell fiberglass ones, but you don't want to do that on a nice registration. Restoration. So I'm going to try to cut that out. Fix it. If I don't, I'll find one that's not rusty. This Fairlane, we might paint this winter.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's pretty solid. Fenders are great. Hood's great. Quarters are pretty decent. It was rust. It must have been rusty at one point. Because somebody, if you go on the inside, you can see it. But somebody did a pretty bad bono job. And there's metal there. I stuck my head down inside the panel and looked, and there's metal there. But it's not done the way that we would do it. No, this car, I'd like to blast this car too. Do it if we paint it. It's got some real bad single stage paint job on it. It looks good in pictures, looks good going down the road, but it'd be nice to just give this car some justice. It used to be white. We're gonna paint it back torch red like this. Vermilion red, torch red, some forward red, real bright forward red. Bring it back to our glory days.
Yeah.
Some bullet wheels on it. I think some slots would look sweet on it. Some 15-inch slots with like the 295s in the rear.
Yeah.
I think that would look awesome. I got a 74 Charger in the back. It's a 74 SE, so we got the opera windows, the little louvers on the opera windows in the back. And I bought some aero racing wheels for that. So any NASCAR in the world or any dirt track car in the world pretty much has these aero racing wheels on it. That's what I'm putting on that, and I think that looks sweet on that Superbee.
Yeah, sure will.
Some good old 15s, you know, old school. Keep it old school. That car's going back. What did you decide to do with power plant on that then?
I
Are you
don't
still
know.
doing a 400 block stroker, or are you thinking of
Possibly.
It might be a 400 block stroker to a 500 cubic inch, or it might be a 440. There's a 440 there on the stand.
It'll be 4-wheel disc probably.
Yeah, we're doing 4-wheel disc. If it's gonna go, it's gotta stop. So
We're gonna put the coilover braces in just in case we do a coilover.
yeah, we're gonna move the. Well, if we're doing coilovers in the rear, we won't need the rear leads. We have plenty of room for tires.
Yeah. We're doing mini tubs. We know that.
We're gonna do some stuff. This is my car. My 98 Cobra was a good friend of mine's in high school. We repainted it.
It was pretty beat up.
It was pretty beat up. We repainted it. Sat behind some guy's shop for a couple years. We painted it. This was our test mule when we first got this shop a few years ago. I've since gotten way better at painting and doing body work. So the back half of the car doesn't look as good as the front half. The fenders look great. The bumpers look great. The other stuff I painted beforehand, not so much. So that car's probably going to get re-cleared. Paint's good. Just clear it. Scuff it up. Hit it with some 1500. Hit it with some good Deltron 3000. West Sand Buff. Good looking car. That Fox body though. We got the 351 sitting here on the stand. Wife really wants me to get this car going. So I want this car painted, body work done this winter. the black interior car, which is really hard. That's the main reason why I got it. Back here in sunroof, and it already had a 351 in it. So I'd like to find some heads, but right now it's hard to find heads. So hopefully this winter I can get some aluminum heads for it, because it's just got cheap E7 Econoline Super Duty heads on it. Put some nice aluminum heads on it. Good cam. World class T5, some 373 gears. It'll be a fun street car. This thing is box bodies for some reason. Well, I think Ford just didn't want to change up the stamping. They just kept adding more. We got an 87 next door. Vanilla Ice convertible. That's another project. Stay tuned for that one. But I'm going to weld up all these holes and smooth these aprons out, do a wire tuck. And all you're going to see is engine and plug wires. So stay tuned for that too. You can buy these pieces, but I'm just going to make them. I work full time at a metal factory, so I'll just make them. You can learn with me. There's the back half of this Charger. The deck lid, unfortunately, has a giant dent in it, like where a tree fell on it. But it's solid. It is one of the most solid pieces of this car. So we're gonna try to straighten this back out, save this deck lid. It's hard to find. These are hard to find parts on these cars. They don't make aftermarket stuff for these old Chargers. It's not like a 68 to 70 Charger where they make every buy every nut and bolt for the thing.
Yeah.
These things, for whatever reason, people don't like these Chargers as much. I love them. I think they're my favorite Charger, and I like them better than first gen Chargers. A lot of people don't even know there was a first gen Charger. They got a real long window, and I mean they're cool. There's a guy in town that's got one. It's gorgeous. I think it's got a 440 in it. I saw it today.
Still got the original paint.
Yeah,
It's
it's got
brand
original
new.
paint on it. I think it looks brand new. It's a real nice example of a first gen Charger. But these, I don't understand why people don't like them so much. I love them.
Yeah.
They got that real big hip, real muscly tone. I love it. They look great, especially when they got a 440 under the hood, 4-speed or whatever they got in it with some big thick meats out the back and big rumbling can. Nothing sounds better than an old Mopar.
Nope.
Small block Ford sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. We got a lot of fun projects this winter. We got all kinds. We got more than this. This is just what we got here right now. But the main things we're going to be working on is this Mustang, this Charger, and that Superbee. There's some stuff here and there in this Fairlane. Right now, you might see we got this Fairlane kind of tore apart in the front. We put these wheels on it, and I love the way it looks with these wheels on it. But it rubs on the one side and not the other. We moved the fender up, some stuff like that, readjusted some things. That's still pretty close, and I just don't understand. The wheels, from the front to the rear on both sides measure up perfectly, so it's just been a headache playing with it, trying to get it here and there. I think we actually get some headway now. I think we can actually drive it without tearing the tire up. So.
Yeah, I don't think they lined the panels up from factory right.
Well, this car's probably been taken apart more times than these old cars. If you're buying old cars, you're gonna know that everyone and their dog has tore this thing apart and messed it up. When I bought this Mustang here, it had all kinds of old subwoofer. They relocated the battery to the back when they put the 351 in it. So it had the battery in the back, had a Honda battery in it, and it's still on there, but it's not going back that way. It's got subframe connectors on it on the bottom. These unibody cars, if you start putting a lot of power to them, you're going to want to put subframe connectors under them. Otherwise, these things are just a wet noodle. They're not real rigid. So you see all these box bodies that drag strips and stuff like that. There's a real big chunk of steel that goes from the front subframe to the rear subframe underneath the floor pan to strengthen it. Otherwise, you start cracking it here, and twisting the car. You're just twisting the car. No one ever drive shit again. They zip tied this power cable. This power cable here. They zip tied it all the way along the bottom part of the frame. Heck, I've driven this car a lot of miles with that stupid cable hanging there at the bottom of the frame. All you need is one little crack, and there it's starting to arc off the bottom of the frame, and you can burn your car down like that. Another thing, if you're modifying your car, put a fire extinguisher in it. Save your investment. Fire extinguisher is cheap. Heck of a lot better than dealing with insurance because the car just burnt down and all your dreams and everything. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher in your car.
Safety tip of the day.
Yeah, safety tip of the day, safety third. We got a lot of fun stuff. We got an Explorer motor over there. We got out of an Explorer. If you don't know, and if you're a Ford guy, and you like Fox bodies or older Mustangs that got 302 small blocks in them, Ford Explorers in the 90s with a 302, it's a 95 Cobra motor. It's got the GT40P heads. So if GT40 heads, you can put regular 302 manifolds on. GT40P heads, you're gonna want 90-degree boots. I loved Mac exhaust. If you can find used, great. Unfortunately, the company doesn't exist anymore. So Mac exhaust fit perfectly on GT40P heads, but any manifold to fit, you just need 90-degree boots. So if you got an Explorer, or if you know somebody's got an Explorer, you find one in a junkyard, you can buy a motor at a junkyard for $300. And you got a Mustang that you want to put a little bit of extra power in it. It's got GT40P heads. It's got GT40P Cobra intakes. They usually got a pretty decent cam in them because it's the same thing as a pickup, basically.
And a roller.
Yeah, and it's a roller motor, so you got roller lifters and throw a better cam in it, some decent rockers, some good studs, some good push rods, and yeah, you got
Nice driver.
you got a pretty healthy, probably 275, 300 rear horsepower Mustang. So that's what's going in our convertible next door. We got is that an 87?
Yep.
We got an 87 white, triple white convertible, so white top, white car, white and red interior, a vanilla ice car basically. That engine's going in that. We were going to put it in our 72 Maverick. No, we're going to put that other motor in the Maverick. I don't know what we're doing with the Maverick. We got a 72 Maverick. We're thinking of putting a 3.5 EcoBoost in this thing. Comment what you think. I think that'll be sweet. A 3.5 EcoBoost in a Maverick? That'd be insane. I think that'd be awesome. People probably hate it, but I love it. I think it'd be awesome. It's got its 200 in it right now.
Yeah.
So, let me know what you think on that Maverick. But stay tuned. This is what we got going on this winter.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning of the video, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that post notification bell so you get your notifications every time we post a video. And follow us on Instagram, Durbin's Garage on Instagram, to get up to date and the scoop on what we're doing in here before YouTube.
You bet, folks. Thanks for watching.
See ya.